Steve Harvey went on his radio show and responded to Dr. Umar's comments he made last week. Not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into it. Take a listen.
All right, so here we go. Dr. Umar Johnson took to Instagram last Thursday to be exact. He said he was offered $10,000 to do an interview with Vice President Kamala Harris and went on to say that he believes other celebrities are being paid to support Vice President Kamala for her bid for the White House, right? Umar specifically called you out, Steve. He called out Rickey Smiley. He claimed that both of you were paid to support Kamala Harris's campaign. Here's what he said. He said, quote, Steve Harvey and Rickey Smiley, I love you both. No hate to my big brothers. But if we're going to be honest, Rickey Smiley and Steve Harvey, y'all only carried on because y'all got paid to carry on. Can we please be honest? Can we?
Y'all carried on because y'all got paid to carry on. Kamala Harris and the Democratic plantation is paying you celebrities, paying you to shame black people into voting. Y'all know we not going to get nothing out of that vote.
The black vote ain't for sale no more, end quote. So, you know, we've had Vice President Harris on the show many times. So let's address this bogus claim. Please, Steve.
Well, first of all, we're going to have her on her again, or how many other times it's needed to get her into office.
To get the vote.
Brother Umar, let me say this, man. I absolutely love some of the things you say. I really, really do, man. Some of the stuff I don't always agree with, but ain't nobody got to agree with everything I say. But let me clear the air on something.
Please.
You can't hire Steve Harvey for $10,000 to do nothing. Let me just A that out the way.
This is why Steve Harvey and people like him in position to deceive black people are so dangerous. Nobody said he was paid $10,000 to support Kamala the cosplaying chameleon. No, what Umar said was he was offered $10,000, just like a lot of influencers who received offers for $10,000 to $20,000 to do content and be in favor of Kamala. But not once did Umar say Steve's offer was $10,000. He said Steve Harvey and Rickey Smiley got paid to do what they're doing, and his question was how much?
I don't know where you got that number from, but you can't offer Steve Harvey $10,000 to do nothing. You can go through the industry and ask about me. Bruh, let me tell you something. Omar, let me tell you something, man. And there ain't no hate here at all, cause I like some of the work he does. I really do. Yeah. Listen, man, I don't do nothing, nothing for $10,000. Don't even insult. Don't insult the brand equity that I've built over these 30 years of television. I just don't, man. And I'm doing this absolutely free of charge because I want this country to be in her hands as opposed to Donald Trump's hands.
This whole corny comedy bit he tried to go into may have been humorous if he wasn't lying. This man went on a rant for 5 minutes.
Please don't insult me and offer me $10,000.
Yes, he's going to say this over and over again, how he's worth more than $10,000. But again, Umar didn't specify a specific amount. His question was how much?
Talk to me, Steve. How much did they pay you to push Kamala? The price is right. Steve Harvey, was the price right, my brother? Was the price is right? When the price is right, the Negropeans will unite. When the price is right, the Negropeans will unite.
And Steve Harvey saying he's doing this for free is a lie. For one, the Democrats cut the check for his radio show, and Kamala also promised favors for him personally.
I'm glad you asked me to do this, because we've talked many times.
And I'm so glad you've made the time to do it, Steve. Thank you.
I was telling the audience I came from my ranch, and you're very aware of this, and you're going to help me now because you introduced me one of your key people back there.
Yeah, so while Steve told us to stop asking for tangibles, he was begging Kamala for favors backstage to help him. And she didn't tell him no, she agreed to do it. See, this is why these folks can't be trusted. They'll be all in our faces telling us to forget about tangibles. Meanwhile, they getting all the butter biscuits in the bag. They will lie, twist, and do whatever to deceive their audience. Him, Rickey Smiley, D.L. Hughley, all of them are in on it together.
Now, me and Rickey Smiley happen to be on the same page. Now, we Q's now, and so is D.L. Hughley. Q's kind of run the airways of black radio.
Okay.
All right, Purple and Gold.
Okay.
Steve is only confirming what we already know. He said Q's run Black Radio. That's a Black Greek organization for those who don't know. So when you hear folks speaking on these organizations and the Boule sellouts, that's what we're talking about. They will definitely support Kamala for free if they had to because she is in a sorority, but they are still getting tangible benefits from these people. The check isn't getting written out directly to Steve Harvey, but they're cutting a check to his radio show, the Steve Harvey Morning Show. They did the same thing during the pandemic when they got Steve Harvey and Rickey Smiley to convince black people to stick stuff in them they had no idea what it was. These people are killing the black community. They want to be the leaders so bad, just to march us out on the field like Jim Jones, following Democrat orders.
But we also understand what's at stake here. So no, I haven't received a single dollar from anybody to do what I do. And I'm doing it gladly for free.
Yes.
And I'm going to freely have her on here again and again and again. I am going to freely ask soft-ass questions. I am going to freely lob the basketball so she can slam dunk all these questions. Yes, I am going to freely sit here and agree.
Before y'all start calling my radio show and DMing me, talking about why you ain't asked no hard-hitting questions, that ain't what this is. I'm throwing a lob. This is an alley-oop for a dunk. Because this administration needs to get the word out of what they're actually doing and what they're actually accomplishing, so we can stop all this foolishness about what you're doing for black people. Can't nobody come out with no agenda and call it this for black people and expect to get in the White House. You got to play the game different. Y'all know what this is. So now this next question is another lob.
He said, yeah, I did it, and I'm going to keep doing it. He is promising that he will not ask her any real questions because he doesn't care if black people get our questions in or if we learn more about this lady and what she's got planned for us. No, he's telling us he is not on the side of black people. He's with her. Let that sink in.
So the black vote is not for sale, but it is a very important block of votes that can control the outcome of this election. And if I have my way, if it is within God's will, she would be the next president of the United States, because the alternative, see, there's only two people running for president.
Yeah.
It's Kamala Harris, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, or Donald Trump.
It's definitely not just two candidates in the race. And you know, it's amazing that all the black boule told us to vote for this non-black, faux black American Indian, daddy born in Jamaica, but East Indian Irish woman. But you have a real black man in the race, Cornel West, and they didn't support him at all. Never even listened to what he had to say.
That's the choice. So I don't know. You know, and if somebody offered you 10, you should have took it. But anybody offered me nothing. But please don't insult me and offer me $10,000. Because I'm telling you right now, it cost way more for me to wake up and turn this mic on.
Oh, Steve,
way
that's all
more.
I gotta get him is $10,000.
I can't even let that get out about me.
Right.
And no, Shirley's sitting up there lying too. She is fully aware that Umar did not say Steve was paid $10,000. But she's going along with this lie too, acting like she doesn't know the truth. Much like how she was acting like she didn't know her Pookie husband was scamming millions using her name and Steve Harvey's name. I'm saying though, instead of worrying about this, Shirley should be concerned about those prison phone calls and what her daughter is insinuating about her. Yeah, Shirley, you got way more to worry about.
The amount is insulting to you. Wow.
That's just, I mean, really,
The
man.
brand.
And you know, look, man, they could take their campaign money and put it into other causes, like buying ads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The ad I'm running right now, this is free.
Free. Please go vote for Kamala Harris.
running
Do it for free.
Yeah, Shirley is also telling us to go vote for Kamala Harris for nothing. It's obvious these senior citizens sold us out a long time ago, and then you wonder why we can't get anywhere. This is what they do.
Kamala Harris campaign ad right now. Please vote. The black vote is not for sale.
It is not.
But it is a very, very viable force. It really is important. And that's why everybody want it, man.
That's right.
And because let me tell you something. If you look at just look at the last presidential election, when it got down to Michigan, Wisconsin, it got down to Philadelphia, it got down to Georgia, Atlanta. Yeah. Philly, Pennsylvania. All those, the Republicans were winning out in the suburbs. When they got to the inner cities where we heavily populate Atlanta, Philadelphia, Detroit, Milwaukee, that turned the election. Yeah. And the same thing can happen this time. And they all know it. Why do you think Donald Trump, who don't give a damn about the National Association of Black Journalists, would even walk his ass out there? He was out there to try to make black people think that he's done more for black people than any president since Abraham Lincoln.
I know Steve Harvey's not talking about the NABJ convention, the same convention that Kamala had so much respect for those black journalists there that she couldn't even bother to show up. And even after she refused to show up to their event, it's been nearly a month. Where's the interview with any of those black journalists? Think about it. She could have said she'll take interviews with 5 of those journalists away from the convention on her own time. She didn't do that either. Why? Because she doesn't care about them or black people in general. She's got no respect at all. She says she don't have to talk to them because she's got all the blacks in broadcast and print bowing to her feet already, just like Steve Harvey and Rickey Smiley.
But he can't name one thing he's done for black people. And then got mad at the black woman for asking him tough questions.
First, it's hilarious how this conversation was not about Trump. Umar was talking about him, Rickey Smiley, DL, and all the boule trying to get us on board with Kamala. But they could never answer for it, so they just deflect and bring Trump into the conversation when that's not what we're talking about. He's not the one they're telling us to vote for. That NABJ conversation did not go like that, so once again he's being deceptive. We're talking about Kamala Harris, who wouldn't even show up to the event. And then the last time he sat in front of her, he admitted that he was not going to ask her any tough questions. He doubled down again. Just a couple of minutes ago, he said that he was not going to ask her tough questions if she called up to his show for an interview.
Now, anybody else that don't agree with that right there, I understand. But just show me what he's done for black people so I can understand. Because right now I don't.
All right. Go on and collect.
Kamala Harris for president. Thank you very much.
I approve this message.
I approve this message. Absolutely for free. If you try to offer me 10,000, I'm going to quit talking to you.
Steve, if you're telling us to go vote for Kamala, shouldn't you be telling us why? She's the candidate that you're pushing. So you should be telling us what she's done for black people. Even still, if you told me to vote for Trump, I would ask why, and I would expect for you to be able to tell me. But no, you're telling me to vote for Kamala. So why can't you tell us the reason we should do that instead of deflecting, talking about Trump? The real reason why they keep deflecting to Trump when you're talking about Kamala is because they know they don't have a real reason. The only reason they have is what Rickey already said. It's supposed to be historic, and she's a sorority member. Then Steve Harvey just told you that the Qs run black radio. So I guess we're supposed to listen to them. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Let me know what you think about this below. I want to thank everybody that's been supporting the channel and contributing to help these videos get out, like Gary, Elmer, William A, Roland C, Andrea, and Nike Fob. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.
Before y'all start calling my radio show and DMing me, talking about why you ain't asked no hard-hitting questions, that ain't what this is. I'm throwing a lob. This is an alley-oop for a dunk. Because this administration needs to get the word out of what they're actually doing and what they're actually accomplishing, so we can stop all this foolishness about what you're doing for black people. Can't nobody come out with no agenda and call it this for black people and expect to get in the White House. You got to play the game different. Y'all know what this is. So now this next question is another lob for her to dunk.